Hello fellow Herders of Blue, and welcome to my channel, and welcome to another episode of Zero Skill, a series of videos where I show you how to achieve incredible results with the easiest and most straightforward steps possible. As always, this video series is sponsored by Vallejo to showcase the amazing Express paints and to show you what amazing results you can achieve with them with a couple tricks. I will leave a link in the description to the Vallejo website where I'm sure you will find anything you want hobby-wise. And in this episode, I'm going to show you how to paint one of my favorite color schemes, Death God from the Horus Heresy. And I think it looks amazing. So, let's get cracking. As you can see, we are starting from a zenithal using a grey spray and a white from above. You don't need an airbrush, you can just do it with spray cans. And for the first step, I'm going to do a layer of 2 parts Bag of Bones and 1 part Express Medium. This will make the color look lighter. While it's still wet, I'm going to go and absorb any excess, hiding on the undersurfaces and stuff like that. We can also take this time to try and wipe off some of the paint from the upper surfaces. Funny enough, your finger is a great tool to do this if you are quick. And I also use my brush to feather out any hard edges that my finger might have left. Just like that. Just a clean brush that is moist with water. It's important when doing this to work section by section so the paint doesn't have time to dry. Express is a great tool to do this because of the longer drying time, makes it ideal for this kind of techniques. And you can see how with just one layer of paint and a clever use of a soft zenithal and a little bit of a trick, we got an amazing base coat that we honestly don't need anything else. This is perfect for an army. For the green details, that is the shoulder pads, I'm going to use Commando Green. Thanks to the trim, I don't have to worry about being neat and can just concentrate on getting the smoothest layer possible. Commando Green, it's the absolute perfect color for Death Guard. It looks amazing. And you might think that this little pre-shade and the zenithal is doing nothing with such a dark green, but it does. It's subtle, but it does. With those 2 layers done, this is a perfect army standard. In fact, it's quite good, it's quite striking and very simple. But I'm going to show you how you can take this to the next level with some very simple steps. First of all, it's going to add a little bit more grime because it's Death Guard, come on. And I'm going to add some rust streaks and some green dark goodness using Wasteland Brown. Just going to target it, put it there, and I'm going to use the long drying time to feather this out. Some extra grime and some extra character. I'm not going to put this everywhere, but I'm going to add quite a bit of it, because it's just fun, isn't it? I can also add this into some of the recesses and stuff like that. Death Guard is one of those armies that is just so much fun to paint. And I'm only going to use this color, but you can use a lot more. The more colors you add, the more fun it's going to look in the end. As you can see, I'm sometimes doing like a drip. Sometimes I apply it and just do it sort of as a filter in some areas, just to add variety, but come on, so easy to do and so much fun. I just can't resist myself and I have to do one more pass with other color. I'm going to use Plague Green, and I'm going to use this as a filter. I have it thinned down just with a little water. You can use medium if you want, but you don't have to with Express for filtering. And I'm just going to apply some of this lovely greenish color to some of the panels, just randomly. You know, like a little bit of vegetation or, you know, that kind of stuff. It's going to be very subtle, but that's what I want. Just mostly around shadows and stuff like that, just to add a little bit more variation. I'm now going to move into my highlights, but I'm not going to do a highlight in the classical sense. What I'm going to do is some chipping, but for the chipping to be effective, first we need a light layer, and for that I'm just going to use pure white. And of course I'm going to use this in a clever way. I'm going to put all of this in the places where maximum highlight is obviously going to be, but I'm going to do it in a very, you know, chipping kind of way. So edges, stuff like that, but I'm going to be, as you can see, very inconsistent. I don't want a clean line. I just want a very jagged kind of look. Of course I'm going to try and pick most of these little rivets. With all of the light chips done, it's now time to move on to the dark chips. And for this you can use any dark brown you like. I prefer warm browns, but you can use anything. But because it's a zero skill and we are showcasing Express, I'm going to use Muddy Ground. And I'm just going to apply this just inside the big chips. Such a fun thing to do. It does require a little bit of practice, but it's so much fun. And the Express lends so well to doing this because you kind of want that semi-transparent look, so you get a lot of variation in your chips, and this is just perfect for that. With the white now finished, there's only one thing left to do, which is highlight the shoulder pads, and I'm going to use two colors for that. The first one being Dirty Grey. I find this to be the perfect highlight color for Commando Green. It just blends very well. And I'm going to keep on going with my weathering patterns by just doing my highlights as chips and texture. I'm going to be building this up in several passes with thin down paint. You can see how thin my paint is. And I can add some scratches and some weathering where it's not supposed to be, and you can use this to fix any mistakes, slips, or, you know, ugly pullings and stuff like that. As always, I'm concentrating my highlights and all of my detail to the front of the model because that's what's the most important bit for me, and that's what's going to look better on the picture. Look at that, just how easy and simple it is to build up a nice volumetric highlight on a shoulder pad, which is very tricky. My next highlight is going to be a 1-to-1 mix of Dirty Grey and Dead Flesh. And I'm going to keep on going with my pattern of dots, scratches and texture, covering less area and focusing more towards the spotlight highlight on the shoulder pad. I can do a cheeky edge highlight here and there, but it's not necessary. And finally I'm going to use pure Dead Flesh, very thin down, to create my final highlight. This takes no time, and once you get the hang of it, it's really easy to do, more than you think. You might think you can't do this, but trust me, anyone can do this. It's super easy, you just need a little bit of practice and a little bit of brush control. You can see the painted miniature here, and I will be honest with you, this is probably one of the best results I've ever gotten from the Zero Scale series. There is so little steps, so easy to do, and looks absolutely incredible. This is one of the best color schemes for the Horus Heresy in my opinion, and it's very easy to replicate. Thank you for watching this video, and thank you to all of my lovely patrons which make these videos possible. You can see the names scrolling down the screen right now. I really appreciate the help in the long and tedious transition to the new studio. And thanks again to Jagged for sponsoring this video, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye!